I'm going to drop a bombshell here. How's that? I'll drop a bombshell. Remember what I said earlier that we don't have all the information right now. Mm-hmm. Okay. This is going to be controversial, and I know I'm going to get attacked for it. I don't care. I'm going to say it anyway.
Hello and welcome to the Sharpening Report. I am your host, Josh Peck. I have a very special guest with me today, my good friend, author of The Trump Prophecies and so much more. He's done a lot of really good work for the ministry, for the church the past few years. Mark Taylor. Mark, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Josh. Thank you for having me on, brother. It's always an honor to be on your show.
Oh, absolutely. It's great to have you back on again. Thank you for making time for this. I know this was kind of last minute because you just lost like a major, I mean, everybody's getting censored now. Even some of the channels that I've been on as a guest for my newest film, Silent Cry, like I go on their show and then find out 2 days later that they're all gone. Like all these channels have been deleted. You had your YouTube channel removed. We had ours removed like a year ago, so this has been going on. But you're kind of in this group of the latest like purge. So tell us. I can't imagine that anybody watching this is not familiar with you. I'm sure they are. You've been on Sharpening Report before, and right. Also I'll let our audience know we actually don't really have a plan for this episode. I have learned that when it comes to Mark, it's better to have no plan and just let the Holy Spirit take over. So tell us how this came about. Like, what was your YouTube channel? What happened? What was this whole story? What everybody getting purged from your perspective? What's going on?
Well, it's a whole purge with big tech right now. I got caught up with the 37 in one night. 37 of us lost our accounts in one night. My channel was Mark Taylor Official because it really wasn't all my content. It was mostly like the interviews I would do that people would want me to share on there. People could go in one spot to see my interviews. I had almost 110,000 subscribers, and it was just like poof, gone, man. No warning, no nothing. You know what I mean? It just said I was bullying, apparently. The email finally came in and said I was bullying someone or people or whatever they considered it. And it's just like, well, I don't know what I'm bullying, but I guess maybe I'm bullying. Didn't like what I was doing, So, but we got caught up in that purge. And, you got and these guys who were calling for Bird to come forward to find out why they're doing what they're doing. Not that they really have a whole lot to do with YouTube. But, the purge is going on Twitter, too, now. Now it started on Twitter. I literally just saw someone that I'm friends with, I do interviews with. They just kicked him off of Twitter. And he had a huge account on YouTube when he got purged the same night I did, 78. And so, it's ridiculous what they're doing. They should have, the president's been calling for to repeal Section 230 for like 3-4 months now. He's been hammering on them to do this. They should have done this 3 months ago. Now they're just now calling these guys before Congress, and it's going to be hopefully it's not going to be another dog and pony show where we just got, it's all bark and no teeth here. You know what I mean? They're just going to sit there and lie and deny and plead the fifth. It's going to take repealing Section 230 and letting the lawsuits fly is what's going to happen, to hold these guys accountable. Now, nobody's going to get any money out of this. It's just simply going to be to hold them accountable, maybe bankrupt some of these guys, what I mean, and make them stop what they're doing right now.
Yeah, no kidding. And it's been going on for quite some time. They're getting more and more bold with it. Like the last time that they showed this kind of boldness was when they blocked. And people can say what they want about him, but I mean, you had like the major social media companies all delete him on the same day, like as if there's no collusion going on there. They're getting more and more bold with it because they keep getting away with it. And this just now happened, and and everybody got the same message that it was like for bullying. When they deleted my channel a year ago, they said that it was so vague that I had harmful content relating to and they gave examples of bomb making and like drug use. And I had nothing really.
Wow.
I tried for a year. I tried for an entire year to just talk to a person. I could not get past the bots. Just talk to a person and ask them specifically, what is it? What did I do? Because they even deleted. I made a little 6-minute like mini documentary about my son, my five at the time. He's 6 years old now, but my 5-year-old son battling leukemia. I made a little documentary about him and put it up there. They deleted that video. There wasn't anything about like treatments or natural, or there wasn't anything about any of that. They deleted it and said the same thing, that it was comparable to like bomb making or something. No real reason.
Yeah, well, but I'll tell you why. It's because you've been marked.
Yeah, exactly.
You've been marked. It doesn't matter what you put up there right now at this point, they're going to take it down. It's the same thing with me. I tell people, PayPal has been coming after me for a long time.
Yeah,
PayPal's been messing around with my business. Mm-hmm. They've been freezing money. with customers that have been ordering things.
Mine too, through Daily Renegade store. Yep.
And I tell people, if you're listening to this, if you're going to give to Josh, I don't take donations, but I don't do this for a living. People like yourself do this for a living. This is how you make your money to keep the show on here. Mm-hmm. But don't put my name in the comments if you're using PayPal, whatever you do, because this is what's happening, Josh. Literally, I'll have someone, like I do the Monday Night Spiritual Smackdown every Monday night, and I'll have someone donate to Chris's show, and just the money's not even for me, brother. Mm-hmm. It's for Chris. And they'll put in the comments, "Thank you, Chris, for everything you and Mark Taylor are doing." Boom, it's flagged. They put a 30-day hold on it. And then they take it a step farther with me. They've been contacting people behind my back who I do interviews with and asking personal questions about me.
Oh, geez.
Brother, that is Gestapo tactics at its finest right there.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. We've been seeing a lot of those bully tactics too, and especially getting in the way of our business. With us, it's been a little bit more under the radar so far, but I'm sure that's gonna change. But like, it is impossible. Like I have this as a channel which hasn't grown at all. It hit 12,000 back when Sam Johnson was hosting it, and then he was starting to have problems growing the audience. I wasn't able to grow anything with my backup channel with the Daily Renegade 2.0. That one, my original Daily Renegade channel had about 80,000, but that had long since plateaued because it was like 3 years before that where it was rising and rising like crazy and then just dead at one point. And I could not get a subscriber to save my life. People were saying they were subscribing. People were saying they were getting kicked off, that they would go back to my page and find out that they're not subscribed. And I'm still hearing the same thing. So the Daily Renegade channel now, the backup channel, when we lost our whole channel, it was like big news kind of in our circles because I talked about it a lot. And since then, I've barely gotten a couple of hundred subscribers since then. And it's been months. I mean, I should have got more than that. I'm not complaining. Like it's because it's unfair. It's because, it's not just me being abused here through this, and it's not people like you, but it's people that want to actually watch our show and follow what we're doing, and we're trying to give people spiritual nourishment, and these enemies are standing in the way of that. Do you see this changing anytime soon, or do you think it's going to get worse before it gets a lot better?
I think it's going to get worse before the election, unless they repeal 230 before the election. I mean, gosh forbid that you talk about this right here.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to get around the algorithms right now. If you talk about that, you're done. You're gone. You know what I mean? Whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on YouTube, it doesn't matter what platform you're on. So I mean, it's probably going to get a little worse because again, these guys should have done this months ago. Look, I said 6 months ago, I said they got to do two things before the election. They got to get control of the voter electoral fraud, and they got to get control of the suppression of social media because they're out there screaming for us to get out there and tell the truth, speak the truth, whatever's going on, whether it's child trafficking, whether it's this, whether it's that, speak the truth. You can't do it when we're getting booted off these channels. So Congress has sat on their laurels and done absolutely nothing now, and they want to wait a week before the election to call these guys before Congress, and for what? You know what I mean, at this point.
Yeah, no kidding. And I've often wondered about that because these tech giants, they've spoken in front of Congress before, and nothing. If anything, it seems to make it worse. If anything, it like emboldens them, and they just go and suppress us more. So it's like this time around, what's really going to change? So so we need to get rid of the 230. What can people like at home do? Like, is there anything that we as average Christians, or even if people are viewing and they're not Christian, just people that love America and love what America stands for. Yeah, patriots. What can we do?
Well, there's other platforms you can go on, but see, people say, well, why don't you go over to Gab? Why don't you go over to Parler? It's like, look, folks, or I think there was another app that was all Christian based, and it's like, look, that's not where the fight's at.
Right.
The fight is on Twitter. The fight is on Facebook. Now, I don't do Facebook. I don't deal with Facebook. I'm mostly on Twitter. I have a backup account on Parler, which is the same name as I have on Twitter. At Patton6966. So I mean, but but people want to say that, but that's not where the fight's at. The fight is on Twitter. And see, the problem is they know they got the monopoly on this. They know that's where the fight's at. So they're trying to steer the fight in their direction, if you will. And so what I would say is have a backup account. You can always go under an alias under Twitter. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And maybe you try to build yourself back up again where it was at. The same thing maybe on YouTube and all these places. But the second they see you on there, or your face or this, that, and the other, then